Classic versus fruit bombs. That is the question. Some of you might be saying, what the heck is Pierre talking about? Others may be thinking, oh, I already know what he's going to be talking about. I'm good. Either way, I say hold tight. You may find something new and interesting here. What we'll be looking at today is about classic or traditional wines versus big old fruit bombs. And by the end, we're going to figure out which is better. Stay tuned. We can start off by saying, which do you like more? This or this? Well, maybe that's a little over the top. How about this, a classic car or a dragster? Hey, let me know your pick in the comments. Speaking of preferences, we all have our go-to wines, varietals and taste profiles that we prefer over others. Now, as you'll see today, a lot of that comes down to classic versus fruit bombs. Keep in mind, at any time, if you like what you hear, click like, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you'll be notified when there's a new post. Also, make sure you share this with your friends. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. The fact of the matter is, before determining which is better, or at least which is your preference when it comes to classic or fruit bombs, the first thing we want to do is figure out what these terms even mean. To make that determination, you have to get to know something about what's inside, not just the image. Now, you won't be able to taste what I'm saying, so I'll try to be as descriptive as I can. I'll start with classic, but we'll spend more time with fruit bombs because there's something confusing about what it really is. A classic or traditional wine, whether red or white, typically is lighter bodied, modest or lower in alcohol, say between 12 and 14.5%, and more subtle in flavor, aroma, and color. They have brighter acidity, less fruit forward with more minerality, and show more earth-driven flavors. They feel light and smooth in your mouth. They're softer, they have less big tannins, and emphasize elegance over power. How are you doing there? Is this information making sense? If it is, write Asti in the comments below. Now we have fruit bombs. Now keep in mind, this can apply to both red and white wines, but most frequently is associated with red wines. Very simply, it's a term used for very ripe, bold wines that offer an explosion of fruit in your mouth. They're increasing in popularity and are a modern style of winemaking which quite simply emphasizes fruit above all else. The term fruit bomb is also used as a slam for wines that emphasize lush, ripe, or jammy fruit flavors that are unbalanced or over-extracted, suggesting that the ripe fruit flavors come at the expense of the wine's structure and balance. Actually, try to imagine you're at a wrestling match when a big, old, angry 400-pound guy jumps into the ring. Sort of like this guy, but with a bright purple jumpsuit on. Now, let's say he's going to compete with, say, Bond, James Bond. These wines are big, in your face, rich and jammy, full of big fruit like plums, blackberries, and strawberries, and they have enough tannins to suck the fillings right out of your teeth. By now, you're probably already guessed that the result of the very ripe grape is not only softer acidity, but they aren't too shy when it comes to their alcohol content. We're talking about some big boys here, up to 15 to 15.5% alcohol. Go ahead and add steel-toed boots to that purple outfit. When it comes to fruit bombs, there are two basic camps of people or consumers. The first believes that fruit bombs are obnoxious, lack character, and show complete disregard for terroir. That's a sense of place where the grape is grown. They're incapable of being aged and are completely incompatible with being paired with food. This is usually the opinion of wine drinkers who've spent countless hours tasting classic wines, fruit bombs, and every type of wine in between. They've gotten tired of the modern winemaking approach and have slowly started to move back towards the classic. The reality is, most consumers fall into the second camp. They find fruit bombs just plain delicious. I think it's important for you to realize that there's a difference between a wine being fruit forward and it being a fruit bomb. The key to this is restraint. Plenty of wines have very nice fruit flavors, however, they're not over the top. Here's why fruit forward wines, especially big fruit bombs, are so popular. They're often a great starting place for people just getting into wine. Newcomers typically start off with white wines and transition to more fruit forward or big fruit bombs. These drinkers have the perception that the big fruit, in addition to the alcohol, which gives a taste of sweetness but is not adding any additional residual sugar, tastes sweeter to them and is appealing. These drinkers have a difficult time appreciating all the different layered savory flavors of a classic wine. As time goes by, many of these people have and will transition to more classic wines that are more versatile and pair better with a wide variety of foods. You know, personally, if I'm going to have a glass of wine, just to relax, I find that a fruit forward or even a big fruit bomb does the trick. With a meal, I stay with classic, more subtle, yet still decently fruit forward wines. Something that has less alcohol and is more restrained when it comes to their fruit. So, which car or wrestler or type of wine is best? Classic or fruit bomb? It's up to your own personality type and personal taste. Taste is personal. So experiment around to figure out what you like and let me know your favorite plus how you came across it. Well, there you have it. You're now all set to hold your own as you talk about classic wines and fruit bombs at your next wine get-together. Hey Posse, thanks so much for investing the time to watch this video. I trust it was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And please consider hitting subscribe. Also, click here to check out our new online shop. We have a great lineup of wine-related items that will help you get the most out of your wine experience. Oh, and be sure to check out these other videos. Until next time, cheers.